Well, if you're an old subscriber or a new subscriber, you probably know that I'm a bit skeptical of John Campea. I am not a hater of the Campea, but I am Campea skeptic due to his backstabbing of Zack Snyder. And I realize that Zack has a lot of people mixed even now, but I like him. And people are drawing these great comparisons to him and David Lynch, and that's driving the Lynch people. How could you? Whether Snyder will be the next David Lynch, yeah, I have doubts, but it's not presumptively silly. I mean, Zack Snyder is a David Lynch fan. But anyway, let us get to the thing. So, Supergirl is confirmed to be in the Superman. Now, I actually like this video from Campea because the other one with Wolverine is like, it was all speculation. So I was like, okay, if you're going to sell it to Hollywood and have inside sources, it helps to do a little bit more. So apparently, Supergirl will be appearing in Superman. What does this mean? Well, without getting too bogged down, I mean, is this going to be like a post credit or is he actually part of the story? How does this work with the Lobo thing? Because it seems like in her own film, she'll be on a space adventure. So how does the timeline work? Is she introduced literally at the very end where they take her out of her pod? I mean, yeah, it's very confusing if she was just actively there and didn't help out. I don't know. It does raise a few questions, of course, but listen, despite my skepticism of Campea, I actually don't disagree with the main thing that they were arguing, that it's like no need to panic. Yes, there are a lot of characters in the Superman film. Are there too many characters? Well, it's hard to say because we need a little bit more with what the story will be if it's appropriate to the story. Obviously, we know that Superman is the focus. And listen, let's not be naive. They're trying to set up the universe real quick to start making money. They're introducing a lot of characters to get this out of the way, to set up their own films, or to set up the universe faster to make money. It's not that hard to figure out. What I find amusing is just how desperately they're trying to deny anything could be wrong. They're like, guys, relax. We believe in James Gunn now. He's our leader. You need to believe in the magics. And they just got more and more silly, bringing Nolan for no reason. Like, huh? What does that have to do with anything?
Oppenheimer. I mean that sounds silly, but that's exactly applicable here. It's exactly
100%. Well, the thing is, think about a comic book. Like I've been reading comic books for most of my life. There's a standalone Superman comic, and there was a Justice League comic
to set up Oppenheimer's. The answer is no. So what's the problem here? Well, even as a comparison, it doesn't make any sense at all. This makes zero sense. Oppenheimer is a real person. Yes, it's a fictional story about him, but he's a real person. Superman is completely fictional, as is Green Lantern, as are most of the characters. They have different stories attached to them. I mean, we have competing canons just with Superman alone, so the comparison makes no sense. The dilemma with Superman is that there are so many stories of him with Batman, with Guy Gardner. You go through the list. It's like trying to pick and choose where to cut off the line. That's where it's going to get concerning, that they have to find a place to be like, okay, we'll give you this, but we're not going to give you that. Like, and Rob just showed up and said, oh, well, because we have the Green Lantern, we have this or that. We don't know that. We don't know that at all. It seems pretty obvious that they're going to introduce a huge part of the DC universe, but not the whole thing, because that would be massive. That would be massive. I grew up with Marvel, but when I got into DC, I was like stunned at just how many characters there are. There are so many Batman characters you've never seen on screen. It is insane. Even the animated series did not get to all the characters. There's so many characters. So clearly James Gunn is going to have to pick and choose, and he's going to probably whittle it down substantively. So for what it could be, no, this is not too many characters. So I agree. There's no need to panic. But I'm like, why are you bringing in Oppenheimer? It's not like these are silly concerns. Because I am, despite being a Snyder fan, I'm still pretty mixed on BVS. And I do agree, it's unclear if that was the right decision to have so many characters. I mean, I still like the film. It is great that we had Batman and Wonder Woman and Superman together in a film, but it did have a lot of characters. And people were like, well, you used to see the Ultimate Cut. I disagree. The Ultimate Cut is a little bit better than the theatrical cut, and it answered a lot more questions, that's true. But even that longer version was I don't know. I don't know. I still think there could have been improvements made. However, it's a great piece of work. It is very ambitious. I mean, it's in the title. You're gonna have two big characters with large stories, so I think we were prepared. But given that it's now just called Superman, some people will definitely be thrown off, saying, "Wait, what?" And it's trying to be the Donner film again, so that people are gonna be like really confused, saying, "Wait, that was in the first Superman film? Did I need to see? Did I miss a critical scene or something?" It's like, again, this is the dilemma that telling people, because it's hard to wake up because the Donner film was great, but it's like that is not Superman. That is a very narrow version of Superman. A lot of stuff is good, but that's not really Superman from the comics. Superman from almost any comics. It's just it's its own thing. So I think that's where people are going to get a little bit like, hmm. I mean, at least people know about Lex Luthor and a few more things like that, Lois Lane. But yeah, it's probably going to be a revelation that wait, Superman and the Green Lantern are connected. Yes, they've been connected for decades. So there we are. So I agree. There's no reason to panic, but John Campea is preemptive. I trust Gunn with everything now. Guys, Creature Commandos. Oh my God, it's great. The trailer, perfect. Really, you have no criticism? You have no doubts? I'm like, okay. I mean, I get it. He's an insider. He has to work in Hollywood, but yeah, it's okay to have doubts. It's okay.